Specialist troops of the Pakistani army were responsible for the killings. Leader of the opposition Sushma Swaraj said she welcomes his new statement. Also, Pakistani Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif summoned an emergency meeting today to discuss control tension. Tonight on Public Forum, we are asking, will the latest tensions between India and Pakistan affect the dialogue process? And joining me for more on this, very esteemed guest with me, Bharat Bhushan, senior journalist. Thank you very much. Also with me, the Foreign Affairs correspondent of The Hindu, Sandeep Dixit. Thank you very much, Mr. Dixit, for joining Lieutenant General Utpal Bhattacharya. Thank you for this program. But before we get straight into our discussion, here is a look at what Mr. A.K. Antony had to say in Lok Sabha today. For granted. Take a look at what Leader of the opposition Sushma Swaraj had to say when she thanked Defence Minister for rectifying his earlier mistake. Mr. Bhushan, in the last 3 days we have seen series of contradictory statements. Today a fresh statement by the Defence Minister A.K. Antony. Do you see this as a befitting response? This is what was demanded by the opposition.
Well, I think it's much of a muchness. I think the Defence Minister should not have made the kind of statement he made in the first place. Unless he found that he's actually a civilian in army uniform, nothing warranted the kind of statement he made. But then you browbeat the government over this issue and force him to give a statement which says unprovoked. Because Pakistan is saying that on 29th of July, 4 Kashmiris were killed in the Machil sector along the Neelam River. They were probably innocent people. One doesn't infiltrators. Was that a cross-border operation? After all, the 56 Russian rifles filed an FIR after that saying that these 4 people were killed. And what was found on them? 1 AK-46, 3 pistols and 1 12-bore rifle. Now, if they're wearing flip-flops, slippers, they didn't, it seems very odd. Now, that incident happened, so there's a background. So you can't say
we must understand the background of the Poonch incident.
That, secondly, then you say Pakistan should do this and Pakistan should do that. I mean, does the Indian army listen to Mr. Antony that the Pakistan army will start listening to him suddenly? To threaten the entire relationship to please the opposition by saying that don't take us for granted. Why these threatening noises? A big democracy like India.
Road ahead, can Pakistan really dismantle its terrorism infrastructure? I now have a caller with me from Gujarat.
गुजरात साबरकांठा सकंबा से परेश पंचल बोल रहा हूँ। हमारे देश में एकता की बहुत पहले जरूरत है। हमारे देश के अंदर एकता नहीं है, उसी टेररिस्ट हमको डरा रहे हैं। तो हमारे देश में एकता क्यों नहीं है? इतनी सारी पॉलिटिकल पार्टियां हैं, एकता कैसे हो सकती है? तो पहले
we were discussing earlier also about how to show a united face, across different political parties talking about something else. On national security issues, is it time for us to show a united face? That's one thing. And secondly, is Pakistan at it in terms of doing away with its terrorism infrastructure? Because we are saying that Afghanistan will be our biggest foreign policy challenge, and that's when Pakistan would need its extremist groups to keep itself alive in Afghanistan.
Okay, first let me answer. कहना चाहता हूं कि देश में अगर एकता होनी चाहिए, मैं भी मानता होनी चाहिए, लेकिन के सिर पे मारें या एकता इसलिए होनी चाहिए कि हम एकजुट होके एक अच्छा दक्षिण एशिया बनाए जिसमें सारे राष्ट्र ऑब्जेक्टिव्स मस्ट बी क्लियर. Coexistence with Pakistan, a stable Pakistan, because an unstable Pakistan, a Pakistan that breaks away, is going to be a terrible, terrible headache for us. On this infrastructure terror. Now, and Afghanistan. Now, the question is in Afghanistan what activities, and this is what is behind all the bombings. The bombing of our embassy in 2008, 2009, and the latest Jalalabad bombing. Will Pakistan be successful in this? It remains to be seen. It remains how we play our cards. It remains to be seen how the Afghan people play their cards. They tried to do this. They want that. Meetings. One was in February this year in Chequers, where where Zardari told David Cameron about. Secondly, in Brussels, when General Kiani met U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry and suggested that they were upset with India in Afghanistan. And the quid pro quo perhaps was that if India's role is curtailed with the help of the international community, we will bring the Taliban to the negotiating table. Project, the Doha talks, which have not really taken off, was the result of that. Why does network or other people to attack our embassies? Because they think that their problem in Balochistan are largely because of Indians. It's been fomented by and encouraged by Indians based in. The Baloch insurgency is an indigenous insurgency. Just as we refuse to see that the Kashmir problem is also an Indian problem. It's not only a Pakistani problem. So you look for